All right. With that, we have a meeting agenda proposed.
I would move to approve the meeting agenda as presented.
Chris Howard, second.
Okay, it's been moved by Holly, second by Chris to approve the meeting agenda. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Next, land acknowledgement. Chris, do you mind reading that?
Absolutely. We acknowledge that the land where Gresham-Barlow School District is located rests on the ancestral and unceded lands of the Multnomah, Cathlamet, Clackamas, Tualatin, Kalapuya, Molalla, bands of the Chinook, and many other tribes who made their homes along the Columbia River. We also acknowledge the systemic policies of genocide, relocation, and assimilation that still impact many Indigenous, Native American families today. As settlers and guests on these lands, we respect the work of Native nations, leaders, and families, and make ongoing efforts to center Indigenous knowledge, creativity, resilience, and resistance. We consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us here today.
Next up is citizens' requests of the board. And I will say in person, we have one, and then we received a number beforehand. And of those three were designated that they wanted to speak here today. So I will read those names, but if you don't hear your name and you provided comment, please raise your hand and we'll figure it out together. So time has been set aside on the agenda for citizens' requests of the board. This is an opportunity for the board to listen and learn from the community. Board members are not able to respond to public comments during the meeting, but appreciate hearing your input. Public comments can be submitted in writing before the meeting or given in person during the meeting. Pursuant to Oregon House Bill 2563A, the meeting of the Gresham-Barlow School Board will be presented online to allow for virtual public attendance at the meeting. If you're a member of the community and wish to provide a written public comment, please use the citizens' comments to the board form and email your comments to the board secretary, Sarah Avery, at avery4, AVERY4, at gresham.k12.or.us by 4 p.m. the day of the meeting. If anyone in the audience wishes to address the board in person this evening, there are yellow citizens' requests of the board forms on the table in the back of the room. Please complete a form and give it to the board secretary, who today is Noel. Okay, and we have, so we have four commenters who said they wanted to speak. I have Angie Diaz, Amanda Jensen, Manpreet Sadal, and Jennifer Lopez Zafra. Is that okay? And nobody else heard their name and is expecting to speak tonight. We do have other comments that we received. Those are available for public review as well. Navigating to this meeting, the December 11th board business meeting, the community can see those comments as well, and the board has had an opportunity to review them. So thank you for providing those. And with that, Angie, are you? And so what we asked for is about 3 minutes, and I'll try to keep an eye on that. Please introduce yourself, your connection to the district, and you can go.
There you go. Yes.
My name is Angie Diaz. I am DLI 5th grade teacher, but also a GBSD parent with a child who's been in the program since the start. Dear school board members and superintendent, I'm here today to speak in support of Maria and express my deep concern regarding her non-renewal. This decision made by our admin reflects clear bias and personal mismanagement. At this time, our school lacks stability and transparent leadership. A confidential advocacy letter written in May of 2025, intended solely for administrative review, was circulated beyond its intended audience, creating unnecessary conflict and confusion. That breach alone calls into question the professionalism of the leadership handling this matter. I am also deeply troubled that Maria is now being deemed unfit, despite evaluations that do not reflect any such concerns. In fact, the admin provided Maria with an excellent letter of recommendation in April of 2025. You're wondering, why am I know that? That is because we both applied to MESD this summer. And I did not get the position. Maria did. What changed between this point and now? Staff are repeatedly told to mediate, communicate, and problem solve. Our mission statements and equity values at Highland state having open conversations and accepting non-closure, anti-racist work, and being in discomfort. Yet, this situation demonstrates a stark double standard. It shows how easily false accusations can be weaponized and how favoritism can overshadow facts and fairness. What I have witnessed since is chaos, rumors, targeted blame towards specific BIPOC educators, simply because others felt uncomfortable. Is this truly what we are working for, or was it all a performative act? And just another checkbox. Maria is bilingual, brilliant, culturally responsive for students. She upholds DLI pillars, and now seems administration deems her unfit. Thank you.
Angie. Would you like to wait, Amanda? Do you want me to call on somebody else? Or, okay, Amanda Jensen. Thanks. Sorry, Amanda, that same thing, just the right button. And if you could just introduce yourself, your connection to the district and.
It's here. Good evening, school board members and Superintendent Klinger. I am Amanda Jensen here on behalf of Maria Hernandez to respectfully express opposition to the district's recommendation not to renew her teaching contract. My teaching partner, Carrie Valdez, and I have co-written the following statement. We, Carrie and I, have had the privilege to serve students and families in the Gresham-Barlow School District for 12 years. All 12 of those years we've been at Highland Elementary and have had the opportunity to learn and grow with our community as it has transitioned into GBSD's first dual immersion program in school. We are honored to be a part of this community as two of its English instruction teachers. As colleagues who have worked closely with Maria for the past 2.5 years, we have witnessed firsthand the positive impact she has had on students, families, and our community. Maria has consistently demonstrated dedication, passion, and a deep commitment to her students, her team, and our dual language program. As a first grade immersion teacher, Maestra Maria is nurturing, purposeful, and representative of many of her students. Her classroom is often used for observations, showcasing not only her effective teaching practices, but also supporting the growth and development of our newer dual language teachers and of our entire staff. We have admired Maria on many occasions for being one of Highland's strongest dual immersion advocates, ensuring that our school continues to honor and uplift bilingualism and biliteracy for all students. Beyond the classroom, Maria has invested countless hours in our school community. She has contributed her perspective, her ideas, and her expertise as an active member of the leadership, PBIS, equity teams, Carnival Planning Committee, and served on curriculum adoption committees. The letter that Carrie and I have submitted goes into much greater detail of Maria's contributions and impact in each of these areas. In all areas, Maria's work as an educator, she asks thoughtful questions. She asks the hard questions. Maria pushes important work forward. In serving alongside her, we've observed her ability to collaborate, problem solve, and advocate for students with clarity and compassion. She is a teacher who elevates the work of those around her. Our students deserve educators like Maria. Her commitment to equity, dual language instruction, and community engagement is not only admirable, but essential to the mission of our school. We strongly urge the board to reconsider the decision not to renew her contract. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Manpreet.
Good evening, Dr. Klinger and members of the board. My name is Manpreet Sadal. I'm the dual language instructional coach for the district. I'm also here on behalf of Maria Hernandez. She came to our district with experience as a dual language immersion teacher, and she has used that experience to provide high quality instruction for the first grade students at Highland, some of the best instruction I have ever seen in my 15 years as an educator. She uses many of the best practices for sheltered instruction that enable all learners, including our language learners and students with disabilities, to access their learning. And this impact has reached far beyond her own classroom. She's provided support, advice, and mentorship to less experienced teachers. She has also served on district-level curriculum adoption committees, bringing her expertise with language learners and diverse students to the table in order to help ensure that we consider the needs of all students in our decision-making processes. She has played a crucial role in the alignment of core literacy instruction practices in grades kindergarten through 5th in our dual language immersion program. And she has helped develop resources for foundational skills and writing instruction that have increased the rigor and consistency of instruction in the dual language program in a systematic way, which is something that I believe is a goal for our district right now. In addition to these contributions, Maria has demonstrated that she holds herself to a high standard with regard to instruction, and she challenges her colleagues to also maintain a high standard. She continues to show a willingness to learn new things that can impact her teaching and to try new strategies for the benefit of students. I'm grateful that I've had the opportunity to serve alongside Maria in this district, and I hope that she will be given the chance to continue her service here. And if nothing else, those of us who are speaking today, and I believe you've received other letters on behalf of Maria, I hope that, if nothing else, these serve as a call for transparency. The way that this matter has been handled has the appearance of impropriety at many levels, in a way that I don't believe reflects the image that the Gresham-Barlow School District wishes to present. Thank you.
Thank you, Marie. Jennifer Lopez-Zafra.
The right button? Oh, it's already on. Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Klinger and board members. My name is Jennifer Lopez-Zafra, and I'm a DLI teacher at Highland Elementary School. I'm here tonight to speak about what is happening at Highland and to express my full and unwavering support for Maria Hernandez. Right now, our school community is hurting. We are in need of strong leadership that is not only effective, but also fair and unbiased. Unfortunately, that is not what we are experiencing. There have been false accusations circulating, and instead of remaining neutral, members of our administration and our HR director has shown clear favoritism to one side. I myself was called into a meeting that was supposed to be a fact-finding conversation. Instead, I was accused by both admin and the HR director. Had the process been handled with integrity and neutrality, a great deal of emotional stress could have been avoided. My trust was broken the moment I witnessed decisions based not on fairness, but on choosing who to protect and whose voice to listen to. That is exactly what is happening to Maria Hernandez. She is being reprimanded not for wrongdoing, but for speaking up, for advocating, and for questioning systems that need improvement. I want to also speak from my experience as someone who helped start the dual language immersion program at Highland. From the beginning, I have watched firsthand what it takes to build a program that supports students, families, and teachers. And I can say confidently, Maria has helped guide, strengthen, and sustain our DLI program for more than our admin has. Her leadership, collaboration, and vision have moved the program forward in ways that simply would not have happened without her. Maria embodies our district mission and vision in every way. Her leadership has strengthened our DLI program and our entire school community. And beyond that, she models the qualities that we want our students to develop, inspire, and empower. Maria inspires both students and colleagues to recognize their potential and reach for excellency. Equity. With her diverse background, reflective practice, and deep commitment to fairness, She advocates tirelessly to remove barriers and ensure students receive the kind of education she and I never had the chance to experience. Community. She has strengthened the dual language program through collaboration, team building, and honest dialogue. Her commitment extends beyond Highland. She built community district-wide. She even organized a baby shower for a colleague at her partner school, simply to ensure they felt seen, heard, valued, and supported. Safety and support. Staff members seek her out when they feel unheard. She protects dignity, promotes inclusion, and addresses harmful behavior directly and respectfully, whether it involves students or adults. High expectations. Maria models high expectations for both students and her colleagues. Her thoughtful questions challenge us to reflect on our practice and ensure we are providing the best education possible. When I read our district's vision, culturally responsive graduates who will thrive in an ever-changing global community, I see Maria work reflected in every part of it. We teach students to be critical thinkers, independent learners, and advocates for themselves and others. Shouldn't we expect, support, and value those same qualities in our educators? Maria represents what is best for our school and for our students. That is why I, among others, stand with her today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. What was? Oh, yes. Did you, just saying, Arceli, we got an email. You submitted by email, Arceli?
Yeah.
After 4 p.m. Did you also submit an email by any chance? Yeah. Yeah, come on down, Arceli, and if we don't have your comments by email, we'll probably ask for them after so we can make sure they can.
Dear Gresham-Barlow School District Board members, thank you for your time. I am here to express my strong support for Maria Hernandez, who I understood may be under consideration for non-renewal from her position as a dual language teacher at Highland Elementary. I respectfully urge the district to retain her because she is an exceptional educator whose work directly strengthens our student and our school community. Last April, Maria was recognized for her excellence in her role, including a personal visit from former Superintendent John Cook for doing an exemplary job. She reflects what we see daily in her dedication and professionalism and deep impact on students and staff. In just 2 years in the district, Maria has taken on leadership roles in multiple committees, as you guys have heard, including Equity, Leadership, Transformative, SEL, PBIS, and other several curriculum adoption teams. Her involvement shows her commitment to building an inclusive and supportive and academically strong environment. Even after 12 years in dual language education, she continues to grow professionally. She attends conferences, brings new strategies back to the school, and co-creates and presents professional development in the committees she is on. That shows true leadership and a desire to elevate others. As one of her co-teachers, I see her excellence firsthand. Out of all the 12 co-teachers I work with, Maria stands out. She delivers rigorous and engaging instruction, maintains strong class management, and builds meaningful relationship with students. She understands students' culture and language as a Latina educator who has grown up in the United States. She provides representation that helps many students feel seen and supported. Colleagues regularly seek her out for coaching and advocacy. Last year, another district visited her classroom to observe her strong leadership instruction as they were developing their dual language program. As you can see, even districts around us are also willing to come and see her because of her strong educator skills. Maria is deeply aligned with our school's mission. She values and provides students' needs. Losing her would be a significant setback for the DLI program and for Highland Elementary and the district overall. She is a valued colleague, a respectful leader, and an irreplaceable asset to our community. For those reasons, I respectfully ask the district to reconsider any decision to not renew her contract, and to continue supporting the important work she brings to our school. I hope that you take all of this into consideration, as we're always seeking highly qualified educators. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Araceli. Okay, we now have a consent agenda. And there are uh, 5 items on the consent agenda for consideration: minutes from our November 6th board business meeting, from our November 20th work session, a financial report that we'll have an opportunity to review later, as well employee contracts, policy update for BBFC reporting of suspected abuse of a child, IIA instructional materials, and JGA corporal punishment.
I would move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Moved by Chris, seconded by Holly to approve the consent agenda. Oh, by Brenna. Excuse me. Moved by Chris, seconded by Brenna to approve the consent agenda. I will say consent agenda. I'm just looking for the spiel. Okay, all items listed as a consent agenda are matters considered by the board to be routine, and they're enacted by one motion. The motion requires a second vote. Be no separate discussion of items on the consent agenda unless a member of the board requests specific items be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda. Okay, so with that, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any opposed? Okay. Our next item is charter hearing for Cal, and I will turn that over to Carla Gay.
I can see Jessica. Good evening, Superintendent Klinger and board. In compliance with ORS 3380651B, the Center for Advanced Learning, or CAL, has submitted a request to renew its charter with the district in compliance with that same ORS. The board will hold a public hearing regarding this request for renewal. The hearing will include a presentation from the school, public testimony, and a question and answer session with the board. And Jessica is joining us from Nashville at the National Career Technical Education Conference. So I will let you take it away, and I'll mute.
Thank you for the introduction, Carla. I appreciate it. And apologies for not being there in person this evening. I'm definitely there in heart and physically in Nashville. My understanding is, Noelle, you might be able to drive my slides. Is that accurate? I'm sorry, I'm on hotel Wi-Fi and it's not been reliable to do both.
Yes, I can do that for you.
Okay. And so I apologize, but Noelle, maybe I'll just say next slide as we need to, because I'm not going to be able to see them as we go. Is that okay?
Sure. Can you give me 1 minute?
Oh yeah, of course. Noelle, you tell me when you're ready.
Okay, Jessica, we're set.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Noel. I appreciate your help. All right. Good evening. Thank you, Chair Peterson, Superintendent Klinger, and members of the Gresham-Barlow School Board for the opportunity to be here tonight. I'm grateful to present on behalf of the Center for Advanced Learning as we seek renewal of our charter and continued partnership with the district. Next slide, please. Cal's origin story is one of genuine collaboration. Community members, industry partners, and educational leaders across the region that came together around a shared conviction. Students deserved greater access to high-wage, high-demand, career-connected learning. For those who were, let's see, I'm just making sure. Oh, yay, thank you, Noel, I see it. All right. For those who were here early on, you know that level of intention and advocacy that was required to go from an idea to a fully realized program. For those newer to this work, for the past 22 years, we have spent honoring that same vision while also delivering rigorous academics, hands-on learning, and facilities that provide students opportunities that you cannot find anywhere else in East County. At its core, Cal has always been about preparing students for what comes next, whether that's college, career, or leadership in their communities, and that purpose remains unchanged. Next slide, please. At the start of our current charter cycle, we engaged in a process that we called recalibration. Students, staff, board members, and community partners came together to reflect on Cal's role 20 years after opening. Through that work, we reaffirmed the elements that have always defined Cal, while acknowledging that our students, community, and industry partners continue to evolve, and we must evolve right alongside them. This process resulted in an updated mission, nurturing a culture of creativity, innovation, and action, cultivating a community of lifelong learners who love what they do. It is a mission that actively guides our design of learning, our engagement with our students, and how we prepare students for a life beyond high school. Next slide, please. From recalibration came two aligned initiatives. This is how we roll, and this is how we rise. This is how we roll, focused on system alignment across recruitment, organizational development, and instructional practices to ensure coherence with our mission. This is how we rise reflects the voices and experiences of our students, teachers, family, and community. It sharpens our focus on three key mission-driven goals: high-quality instruction, equitable access to dual credit, and the importance of daily attendance. At Cal, we believe that students must see what is possible in order to become what is possible. Representation, access, and opportunity are central to our work, as our commitment is to ensure that every student can envision themselves as a Cal student and then experience the support to make that real. Next slide, please. Our enrollment reflects these efforts. After the disruption of distance learning in a pandemic, Cal's enrollment returned to full capacity at 500 students. Gresham-Barlow is fully enrolled, maximizing both district investment and student access. This stability signals both community confidence and strength in our programming. Next slide, please. Over the last 4 years, we have seen an enrollment of students from historically underrepresented communities grow by 11.5%. This is the work, this is the result of intentional work, refining our recruitment practices, strengthening our multi-tiered systems of support, elevating student voice, and aligning instruction with our mission and industry expectations. Next slide, please. Looking at our October 2025 data for special services and designations, 34% of Cal students receive language services. 8% of our students receive special education services. 5% of our students have a 504 plan, and 3% of our students experience housing instability. Overall, 40% of Cal students receive one or more of these supports. These numbers represent a significant change from where Cal was when we first opened. They reflect deliberate action to increase access, align with the priorities of our partner schools, strengthen relationships at the building level, and ensure that career and technical education is accessible to all students. Next slide, please. Our first improvement goal centers on high quality, high impact instruction every period, every day. Instruction that is intentional, relevant, differentiated, and directly connected to our students' goals. Go ahead and next slide. The impact shows up in our student outcomes. Senior exit survey data indicated that in 4 of our 7 program areas, more than 90% of our students intend to pursue a career or college aligned to their Cal program. The remaining 3 program areas at Cal, students exceed that number by 80%. Instruction at Cal is not only engaging, it's purposeful and aligned to students' futures. And sharing here on this slide, you can see that 95% of the class of 2025 were college bound at Cal. And I just want to make a note that that also includes trade schools, community colleges, specialty programs, et cetera. And obviously well above the national average, and again, aligned to our programming. And then go ahead and continue. Cal's contribution to graduation success is also consistent. Every student enrolled at Cal in the class of 2025 graduated on time. Historically, Cal's graduation rate has held between 99 and 100%, representing students with diverse academic histories and experiences prior to attending Cal. This underscores the direct impact programming at Cal is having on student success. Go ahead and continue. Dual credit has also always been a cornerstone of Cal, and we continue to refine our approach to ensure access is equitable and meaningful. The average student earns 10 college credits during their 2 years at Cal, some earning up to 34 credits. In the past 4 years, our students have earned a great deal of college credits. And if you'll move to that next slide, I'll show you. There we go. In the past 4 years, our students have earned more than 12,000 college credits, saving our families over $1.4 million in tuition. For many students in East County, this is transformative. This is opening doors, it's building confidence, and it's changing the trajectory of our students' lives. We are grateful for our partnership with Mount Hood Community College and excited to expand our work with Portland State University this fall. Go ahead and continue. Our cumulative attendance rate at Cal averages nearly 90%. And while this is strong and we all are struggling with attendance, we also recognize that inconsistent attendance significantly impacts our students' progress. In a school such as ours, we can respond quickly and intentionally. So through multi-tiered systems of support, proactive outreach, and collaboration with our comprehensive high school partners, we're addressing barriers earlier. Attendance is up nearly 2% from this time last year, and students are receiving targeted support, are demonstrating measurable improvement as we speak. And we can continue. And so this gives you a sense of what we're doing at each of the levels at our tier 1. These are the supports we're putting behind all of our students on that 3rd school improvement goal. You'll see our targeted support for those that are missing 3 or more, and our most intensive support at our tier 3 for students who are again chronically absent. And that you'll see that nearly 2%, and really that translates to about 45 more students attending full days each month. And so that's something we've been really, really proud of, and I think is a direct attribution to the work that the student support team at Cal has been doing. We can go to the next slide. Cal is fully compliant with all of the Oregon Department of Education's reporting requirements, insurance guidelines, and state and federal laws. We received a clean audit opinion for the 21-22 school year, the 22-23 school year, and the 24-25 school year, and a single corrective action was required in 23-24 and was fully resolved. While expenditures have outpaced our revenue in recent years, this was intentional. It's reflecting a strategic spend down as we return to in-person education and have invested in upgraded student technology and equipment. We have updated our safety and security measures on our campus and tackled large capital projects, including a building-wide conversion to LED lighting, and absorbed increased salary and purse costs. And while these decisions are all budgeted and they're also carefully monitored, we will continue to prioritize our students' need while ensuring Cal's fiscal health through careful monitoring, regular stakeholder input, and regular analysis with our fiscal agent to prepare strategically for the dynamic funding landscape that we're all experiencing. And the next slide, please. The strongest evidence of Cal's impact comes from our students and families. Students describe Cal as a place where they found belonging and direction. Our families describe Cal as a place that provided their children with confidence, purpose, and a meaningful opportunity. Teachers and alumni are echoing this as well. Cal does not simply provide instruction, it transforms students' sense of what is possible. Students leave Cal prepared academically, technically, and personally for their next steps. And I'll briefly share a testimonial that I received this morning from Skyla Harper. She's a 2021 graduate to illustrate better than I can Cal's impact. Skyla shared, I attended the Center for Advanced Learning in the fall of 2019, right before the pandemic hit, and I graduated high school in 2021. After attending Mount Hood Community College for a while, I transferred to Texas Christian University to pursue my Bachelor of Science in Nursing. And I'm proud to share that I will be graduating this Friday as a first-generation college student. I'm excited to say that I've accepted a position at pediatric oncology nurse at Children's Medical Center Dallas. Their nationally ranked oncology program is the perfect place for me to begin a career in a specialty that holds personal meaning for me. During my time at Cal, I discovered not only my love for the medical field, but also the confidence to chase big dreams. The skills, exposure, and support I received there created a foundation that has carried me through the challenges of nursing school and shaped the nurse I'm becoming. I'm forever thankful that Cal planted the first seeds of curiosity, discipline, and purpose in me. It was the place where I learned what I was capable of, and it continues to influence the way I show up for my patients today. We are so proud of Skyla and grateful to share her story and the stories of our students and families, which was provided to the board in a testimonial this evening. Next slide, please. Since 2003, Cal has offered rigorous academics, hands-on career and technical education, and clear pathways to college and career for students of the Gresham-Barlow, Centennial, and Reynolds school districts. This charter term demonstrates measurable success, strong outcomes, expanded access to relevant, rigorous learning. We're strengthening student voice, and we are practicing culturally and responsive, inclusive instruction. Thank you for your time this evening and your continued partnership. We look forward to building on this work together in service of our students and the community we serve. Thank you.
Right, board. Any questions of Cal? Thanks for joining us from Nashville. It's pretty late there.
Yeah, we just hit 10 p.m., but I am happy to be here. I believe deeply in the work that we're doing at Cal, and I told Carla I will find a way.
Mine is just more of a an ignorance question as far as like how do you get funded? Most charters, they get funded, they're sponsored by a district, they get funded by the, pass through, and if they're high school, they get 95%. How does it work? Because you've got 3 districts here. I mean, I think we're your charter or sponsor,
Yes.
but then how does the funding work?
Yes, no, I'm happy to. I'm going to give the best answer I possibly can this evening, and I imagine if Pete is here as well, he may be able to offer some additional information. But Cal is funded primarily by state school funding dollars, and we receive half of 97% for the slots in which each district owns. And so if you imagine that the Gresham-Barlow School District is a little over a 50%, imagine like shareholder in Cal. And so that is then divided into slots. And then we want to make sure we're maximizing district investment. And then they're going to pass through about 49% of that to Cal.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course, I'm happy to answer.
Good evening. I just always get so excited when we get a presentation about Cal because I was there in the beginning and they told us over and over again that it wasn't going to work. And I just always want to say it did work and it's still working and it's fabulous. With that said as well, some of the things that were first started when it began, some of the areas of instruction, some of the particular disciplines, as it were, have changed. Are there changes on the horizon as students are needing to fit into different types of jobs? How is that working? Because I see some very different types of majors I'm just going to call them that, majors, than what it was when Cal first started. So what's the progression going on with that?
No, that's
Makes
a
sense.
good question. I appreciate that, Chris. The first portion of that to answer your question would be that we've expanded programming, but we're making sure that we've expanded programming from our origin. The original programs at Cal were a health science, a graphic design program, a manufacturing program, and a computer science program. So there were 4 original programs, and we now have 7. Of those programs, what we're always making sure that we're doing is being in regular communication with our industry partners and our district partners. We want to make sure that we're in complement to that and also making sure that we're staying true to that mission about high wage, high demand careers. And then also making sure that we're in regular communication with our post-secondary partners to make sure that as we're preparing students, we're preparing them for the future that will be, not the one that was. And interestingly enough, I was able to attend the COSA Law Conference and now here in Nashville and at the National ACT Conference. And I think both of those are really important aspects as we kind of keep our finger on the future of these different industries and making sure that the work we're doing is relevant and in good preparation. Particularly, there's been a lot of interesting conversations about AI, and I feel like Cal has really done a nice job leading the way and figuring out a way to integrate that into our instruction, regardless of perhaps how folks might feel about it, because it is happening.
Other questions?
I'll go ahead and ask. I have a student, or I have a child, I should say, at Cal, and he's loving it. So, but I would be curious, like, what are some of those like big challenges that you guys see at Cal?
Yeah, that's a great question. When I think about these, the challenges that we're facing, from an operational standpoint, I think it continues to be coordination across 5 comprehensive high schools. That will be consistently a challenge. And I think I have felt tremendous support from the Gresham-Barlow, Centennial and Reynolds school districts, from building level leaders to instructors and counselors. But we're coordinating 5 bell schedules, transportation from 5 high schools back and forth to our campus. And so it really highlights for me that those challenges are best addressed through a deep and profound belief in students' access to that programming. And so I appreciate that partnership, particularly from y'all and your board and your administrative and district team. So I would say that is my biggest challenge. If you're going to ask me on any given day, I am most challenged by making sure that that occurs. And I want it to be a seamless experience for students. And so how can we shoulder that and improve that and reduce, barriers for them so that they can get about the business of being students and maybe alleviate some of the stress of systems that are malaligned.
You have another one? Go for it, Chris.
So if I didn't quite hear it in the presentation, then are you at capacity for the number of students that you can have? Is there room for more as the disciplines have changed? What does it look like for attendance at Cal?
I would say we are at capacity right now. Absolutely. Yeah. At a spot where I wouldn't be expanding programming. And the building is designed to serve 500 students. And so I think that is exactly where we'd want to be.
And I just want to say, from a personal standpoint, I have a small business that has a discipline that you guys have at Cal, the Fab Lab.
Yeah.
And I have a number of your students that have come down and talked to me, shared with what they're working on, gotten ideas, and I've gone to the whatever you call the presentation at the end of the school year, the senior presentation that was absolutely fabulous. And so I'm actually kind of very glad that that particular area is available for the students, because we need that going forward as well. So thank you.
Thank you for the support and opening your business and your time to us. And again, I appreciate your support from the very beginning, Chris.
Got one more. As we are like going into this renewal, is there anything that we don't already know that we should know or that you want us to know about Cal?
I even made myself a little note about this. Specifically, because I think that's a great question. Sometimes there has been this long-standing line that has been used in my many years associated with Cal, that Cal is the best kept secret in East County. And I'm like, why are we keeping it a secret? Like, I would prefer it's not. So I would say, from that perspective, folks have long recognized that like there is a high level of academic experiences for students available at Cal. However, I don't think that folks are as knowledgeable about the variability of academic backgrounds and experiences of our students coming in. And I would love to continue to highlight the impact of career and technical education for all students to achieve, on our graduation rates, on access, on opportunity. And again, this idea that if we see it, we can be it, and that how we would want all of our students in East County to have that opportunity. So I'd love to continue to dispel that Cal is only available students with, previous high academic achievement, and rather it's about passion and excitement for our content, and then doing everything we can from a system and an operational standpoint to increase access for all students, and, really address our bias when we think about what a student can or can't do, and imagine what the power of the programming could do for those students instead.
Along those lines, can you tell us how students find out about Cal, just so that the public can hear that?
Yeah, I'm happy to. Cal engages in a very intensive recruitment process that begins during students' 10th grade year. And so Cal comes into each of the 5 comprehensive high schools that feed into Cal, and we present a all-school 10th grade assembly. And then students are offered a field trip to Cal. We call it Fast Tracks, where they can participate in hands-on workshops in all of our programs to explore their interests even more. We offer open house nights. We offer preview nights. We offer tours. We promote through our website, through social media. We also are spending a lot of time thinking about more targeted approaches. So spending time in front of parent organizations, spending time in front of community organizations, spending time in AVID classes, offering ourselves during lunchtime, and just making sure that in case you were sick and absent that day, that wasn't the only opportunity you had to hear about Cal. And then again, anytime we have students or families reach out to us directly, we always want to welcome them in, give them a tour, and make sure that they know that, Cal is available to them.
All right, well, thank you for joining us, Jessica. Thanks, Carla, for introducing it to us.
Happy to. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Carla.
You're welcome.
All right, next up is Superintendent and District Leadership Report. Dr. Clear.
All right, good evening, Chair, members of the board, and members of the community. I want to begin by acknowledging the incredible generosity of our staff, students, and community as we head into the holiday season. The spirit of giving in our district is truly remarkable. Our schools have been coordinating efforts like providing food boxes to families, and we have seen volunteers step up to start a clothing closet on the Springwater Trail High School campus to support our many students and their families. There were many, many families that were able to get bags full of clothing during conference week. So thanks to the many volunteers that helped to make that possible. These acts of kindness demonstrate the deep commitment our community has to caring for one another, and I'm extremely proud to be a part of a district where this level of support exists. One of my personal priorities this fall has been to actively engage with key stakeholders and community partners. In the past few weeks, I've had the great opportunity to meet with a variety of important groups and elected officials. Last week, I met with County Commissioner Vince Jones-Dixon. I have quarterly meetings with Mayor Stovall and other city leaders. Lisa Scari, president of Mount Hood Community College. I was able to present at the Chamber of Commerce Business Leaders Lunch. I've met with our own budget committee. I meet monthly with our district equity committee, which also includes 5 of our high school students. We had an important meeting with leadership from Gresham Arthur Academy this week. Our GBEA leadership and our district leadership team were able to meet and identify some ways to support staff, students, and families with the impacts of immigration enforcement in our community. And lastly, a recent delegation of middle school students from Ibetsu, Japan, got to spend some time at West Orient Middle School this week, and I got to sit down and have a great conversation with them. It's been such a pleasure to meet with these community leaders to share the good work happening in our schools, celebrate our successes, and have candid conversations about the challenges that lie ahead for our district and in our community. These partnerships are critical to our success, and I'm committed to continuing to strengthening these relationships. Earlier today, I had a wonderful opportunity to go back to my roots as a 5th grade teacher. I was able to join the delightful students in Mrs. Yan's class at North Gresham and participate in a winter art project with them. We did some drawing, got messy with some oil pastels, and had a sweet treat together. And there's nothing quite like spending time directly with our students to help ground my work and remind me of the joy and purpose of public education. Finally, I want to remind everyone that our winter break, our staff's not forgetting that winter break is coming, but remind everyone that winter break is coming. I encourage all of our staff, students, and families to take this important time to rest, recharge, and enjoy time with their family and friends. We look forward to a strong return in the new year. That concludes my report.
Thanks, Tracy. Board, it's time for our reports. I'll start down here. Brenna, you have anything?
So I don't have too much to share as I have been out due to a surgery, but I did get to attend some things when I could. We were able to, as a family, go to the Gresham football game in Bend, where they played a really great game and it was really fun. The energy was high. And though we lost, I'm really darn proud of those boys for making it to that level and just getting out there and doing it. And so there was many of them that also made first team, as well as many other athletic programs, or like soccer. I think that from what I remember, my brain is still working, but from what I remember, many of the athletic programs at Gresham High School have first team athletes. So huge congratulations to all of them and what they did. And then I think that kind of concludes most of what I was able to do while I was out.
Sean?
So as usual, I went to many different events at the middle school and high school level. I will report that your Gordon Russell team beat the West Orient boys basketball team by 5 in a tough game. So good job, boys from Gordon Russell. Little crosstown rivals. You know, the other school they're rivals with, DCD. That's coming up in a few weeks. So highly recommend that one. Last week I had the opportunity to spend time down at Coastal Law. Met with district leadership or had, saw district leadership down there. And boy, that was a really good law class. I highly recommend it to any board member. Very relevant. There was a lot of great things that I went to, but my top 4 that I liked was AI in K-12 schools. Why do you need a policy and how to build one? That was a good one. Top 10 legislative updates, otherwise formerly known as hot topics, and immigration enforcement in schools, and finally managing investigations of board members and administrators. So that was some good stuff among many other topics there.
Be nice to maybe add an agenda item on a work session to have you kind of debrief some of those and maybe what Tracy also observed. We need all the information we can get. So actually, I'm going to Chris.
All right, thank you. I was trying to figure out what all was going on, and I realized that it was the convention for the OSBA, Oregon School Boards Association. This particular year, in fact, if you're going to do a debrief thing, Hot Topics was probably one of the best sessions that they have had in years. There are a lot of things that are going on, a lot of things that are happening, and quite a few of those are either directly impacting what board service is or areas where we can better collaborate with what's going on and what's coming down the pike. So I would definitely like to be able to do that. It's also time for my what's become annual Happy Holidays list, honoring the diversity of our community. We've already had a couple of days that we've missed. Feast of St. Nicholas Day was December 5th. The Immaculate Conception Day, December 8th. Bodhi Day, December 8th, the Buddhist Enlightenment Day. Feast Day of Our Lady Guadalupe, December 12th. Baha'i Founder, observance of the birth of the Baha'u'llah, celebration of the birth of the Bab, December 20th, pre-Baha'i, the death of Italian martyr Saint Lucia, December 13th, Saturnalia, December 17th, the death of Saturn, festival of light and seeking truth. Hanukkah, December 18th through the 26th, the Jewish festival of lights. Festivus, December 23rd, a secular event with an emphasis on fellowship. Christmas, December 25th, Christian holiday commemorating the birth of Jesus alongside with the winter solstice. Zarathosht Diso, December 26th, is honoring the death of the prophet Zoroaster, the Baha'i. Boxing Day, December 26th, this is sharing with those less fortunate, something that began back in the 1800s with the British monarchy. Kwanzaa, December 26th through January 1st, a cultural celebration of African American heritage. And Yule, December 21st through January 1st, celebrated by Wiccans and neo-pagans to celebrate the winter solstice. So with all of that, it just means that you can say happy holidays to anyone, and you can be sure that you will be helping them celebrate what it is that they are looking forward to and having a wonderful winter holiday. So happy holidays to everyone.
Heather?
Good evening. I as well attended the OSBA annual conference with Director Howard, and I agree with her. All of the conferences that I was able, or the little workshops that I was able to attend, were beneficial. I also worked with Superintendent Klinger to coordinate with the Portland Opera a presentation to North Gresham School, one of their children operas. I think it's called The Elixir of Love. And so that happened on December 2nd. I didn't get a chance to follow up with the principal, but I took my own children and they were very delighted with the program. Um, Also, I worked with a construction company, Colas Construction, to see about adding a construction curriculum to elementary students. The CEO of that company, he wrote a children's elementary book on construction, and he has volunteered to come and speak at our elementary schools to get children at a younger age more aware of all of the different activities or tasks that belong to in the construction arena. They also shipped us 12 books that all of the elementary principals, Carla Gay, Diane Santos, and Dr. Klinger and myself can read, and hopefully we can start some type of collaboration with this construction company. And I just want to say, are we back next week for another? Okay, I was going to say happy holidays, but I will see you all next week. Thank you.
Well, we always get here and I think, what have I done in the past month? The last month seems like 2 years full of stuff. So I did not list all the things, but multiple leadership meetings, and I believe I missed the policy meeting last month because I was out of town. My personal life has also been very busy. So we just wound down the fall sports and started up winter sports in my family, and I supported a lot of those programs that were extending past into the postseason and supporting our students there. So that was a lot of fun, and we have another policy meeting coming up tomorrow. So I will be there and see you all again next week.
A fairly busy month. On the family side, got to see some students beyond my own thriving. I got to see a winter band concert at Gordon Russell. That is always a highlight. I was trying to calculate in my head, but I don't do math in public. Former boss emphasized that to me. So a lot of students participate in band at Gordon Russell. And they're just outstanding. I've said it before. It's one of the absolute highlights. If I'm feeling down, go watch students thrive on a stage. It's amazing. And I got other opportunities to do that. I related to my own students. I got to see my very first racquetball tournament hosted at Cascade Athletic Club. One of the best kept secrets. I know Cal's claiming it, but racquetball, the work that those coaches do to make a sport that provides lifetime fitness accessible to so many students is just exceptional. Really cool to watch and learn some rules, and feel like I have a lot more to learn to understand anything. I took our family to get to go see women's basketball at Barlow in their season opener. A great group of young women. Didn't go their way that night, but they got the win against Sunset a couple days later. Went to see Anything Goes. What an outstanding performance that was. The students on stage, the students in the pit, the students in the sound and lights. It was unbelievable, and a huge congratulations to Jeff Schroeder for the way that he has led that program. Youth theater in our community is quietly exceptional. I got to see Anne of Green Gables, which had some Gresham-Barlow students in it, at the East Side Theater Company. I think they have Wizard of Oz coming up before Christmas, or no, it'll be after Christmas, but I'll be sure to report it. And that leads me into my very, very consistently articulated that next week, December 17th, Thursday evening, the Barlow Alumni Concert, joint band and choir. Over 9 years of doing this, with students or without, one of the things that's really uplifting is to watch students be great. And those students are exceptionally skilled and wonderful to watch. So highly recommend joining me there. I will say hi if I recognize you, even though I'm an introvert. Okay. And with that, that's our board updates. And that leads us into a recess. We'll do 10 minutes, 8:35 on that clock. We'll be back here. Thanks. All right, we're going to reconvene into our December 11th board business meeting. For committee meeting minutes, those are available in the board packet, policy review committee minutes from November 6th. And next we have association reports. So we'll start with, well, we'll just go to Matt, Gresham-Barlow Education Association.
Oh, we'll just go with Matt. Well, I was talking with John. I said that since OSEA departed, I actually get 4 minutes, and John was not a fan of that. I think it's because whenever we say good evening board, good evening Dr. Klinger, nobody ever says good evening John, even though he's up there. So I haven't noticed that. So you're welcome. Yeah, I like how they keep you off to the side. That's kind of where we'd like to all keep John. Thank you and good evening, Chair Peterson, members of the board, Superintendent Klinger, and John. As always, I do appreciate the opportunity to speak on behalf of the GBA and its members. Tonight, I want to speak to an ongoing and growing concern that I think many of us share. That's ICE actions near our schools and in our communities. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, actions near schools have stirred a growing concern for families, educators, and communities. In 2025, federal policy changes removed the long-standing protections for sensitive locations, such as schools, allowing ICE to carry out arrests and actions near school campuses. July 15th, 2025, ICE arrested a parent outside of Guidepost Montessori School in Beaverton during morning drop-off, breaking his car window to detain him. October 2025, agents detained a parent roughly 100 feet from Eastwood Elementary School in Hillsborough shortly after school drop-off. November 21st, 2025, 17-year-old student was detained by ICE during his lunch break. He was off campus driving a family vehicle when agents stopped him, broke his car window, and took him into custody despite his citizenship. October 13th, 2025, individuals identifying themselves as ICE agents were observed in a vehicle parked on a campus near a football field of Inza R. Wood Middle School in Wilsonville. District staff asked them to leave. They departed shortly after. The district publicly confirmed the event and told families the agents claimed they were doing surveillance of the general area. In multiple other communities, parents and school staff report ICE presence and arrests near schools and childcare centers. I witnessed firsthand when ICE action occurred directly in front of my own building, leaving many of my students scared, confused, and emotional. Staff members were shaken and upset as they worked to comfort their students and restore a sense of safety. These confirmed instances show that ICE actions near schools aren't just hypothetical. They're ongoing. The result is families and children living in fear, community trust eroded. The simple act of taking your child to school can feel unsafe. For these reasons, the GBA Exec Board shared the following statement with our members on November 20th. The Gresham-Barlow Education Association is committed to ensuring that every student in our district learns in a space that is safe, welcoming, and inclusive, no matter their immigration status. As educators, we believe it is our duty and responsibility to protect the well-being of our students and their families, both inside and outside of the classroom. For this reason, the GBA stands in opposition to immigration and customs enforcement raids in our communities and neighborhoods, especially near our campuses. These raids create fear, disrupt family stability, and threaten the secure learning environment that our students depend on. No student should come to school worried that a parent or a loved one may be taken from them. They should not be burdened with the fear that their school, a place of safety, learning, and support, could become a place of traumatic immigration enforcement action. When fear surrounds schools, students cannot learn, educators struggle to teach, and communities cannot thrive. The GBA remains steadfast in advocating for the dignity, safety, and well-being of every student we serve and for our community as a whole. Further, the Gresham-Barlow Education Association condemns ICE presence, raids, or intimidation tactics within the Gresham-Barlow School District lines. We affirm that schools are safe havens. Students and families should never fear that attending school will expose them to immigration enforcement. Educators will stand in solidarity with students and families affected by ICE activity and advocate for district policies that protect confidential student information and restrict collaboration with immigration enforcement on school grounds. GBA calls on the Gresham-Barlow School District to reaffirm its commitment to all students, regardless of immigration status, and to notify the association immediately if any ICE activity occurs near district property. The GBA encourages all members to educate themselves on their communities about immigrant rights, Oregon sanctuary policies, and the protections afforded under state law. And that was signed in solidarity from the GBA Executive Board. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Not typically. Yeah, usually we. Our next item, because I assume OSEA doesn't have an online representative. Is that accurate? Okay. Next item is an action item related to the OSBA Board of Directors position 18 and Legislative Policy Committee representative position 17, 18, and 19. So in the Multnomah County region, there is one Board of Directors position open, and member school boards are asked to vote for the candidates who have filed for that position. For OSBA position 18, our own Chris Howitt was nominated by our district, and she, I don't know, is competing. There's another candidate who filed, and that's Brenda Rivas from Park Rose School District. So we'll get to that one. Member school boards have also been asked to vote on 3 representative positions open for the Legislative Policy Committee. And for position 17, our own Heather Coleman Cox, who's uncontested. There's also position 18 with Althea Ender from David Douglas, and position 19, Christy Split from Portland Public. Under OSBA's governance structure, member school boards are required to take official action on the slate of candidates by casting 1 vote, meaning is that if we take this to a vote, then that counts as 1 vote for whichever candidates we support, not an individual vote. The voting period opens in mid-November. And now it's being presented for board action. The board secretary must submit the completed ballot online no later than December 15th. So there are recommended motions. I do have a generic question for, I imagine Chris might be the best qualified to answer this one, but we vote for all 3 legislative policy committee positions?
Yes, Multnomah County has 3 positions, and so they are not necessarily by any different region within Multnomah County. It's just 3 positions that we have in Multnomah County.
Okay, thank you. With that, any other questions? And I'd recommend we handle this, at least the first one, as a single motion, meaning I think we could do it in as little as 2 motions, but as many as 4.
Yeah, you could do it too.
Okay, I challenge you to do it in 2.
I would like to make a motion for position 18 OSBA Board of Directors for our own Gresham-Barlow School District Director Chris Howitt.
All right, it's been moved by Heather, seconded by Sean to elect Chris Howitt to the OSBA Board of Directors, position 18. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. And that was going to be an uncomfortable conversation if somebody was opposed. All right, next.
And I will go ahead if you like. I would move, since all 3 positions are uncontested, legislative policy position, or do you want them separate, Sarah? Should they be separate, or can we do them as one since they're in?
As long as you word them so that they're clear, one motion could be fine.
Let's do second. All right, okay. All right. For legislative policy position 17, Heather Coleman Cox, Gresham-Barlow School District. Legislative policy position 18, Althea Ender, David Douglas School District. Legislative policy position 19, Christy Split, Portland Public Schools.
All right, it's been moved by Chris, seconded by Holly, to elect Heather Coleman Cox to Legislative Policy Committee position 17, to elect Althea Ender to position 18, and Christy split to position 19. Does that satisfy? Okay,
That was good.
any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Next up, we have integrated grants renewal. Heidi Lasher.
Right, good evening, Chair Peterson, Board Directors, Superintendent Klinger, and John. Aligning for Student Success is an integrated guidance and application process for multiple ODE initiatives, which include High School Success, Student Investment Account, within the Student Success Act, Early Literacy Success School District Grant, Continuous Improvement Planning, Career and Technical Education, Perkins, Everyday Matters, Career Connected Learning, and Early Indicator Intervention Systems. This integration work has brought multiple programs together to improve outcomes and learning conditions for students and educators. This is being presented to the board to approve the 2025-27 SIA grant agreement, which is an agreement we received from the state based on the application presented to you in the spring.
I'm just gonna make a motion. I would move to approve the 2025-27 SIA grant agreement for the Gresham-Barlow School District.
I'll second. Oh,
Been moved by Chris, second by Holly, to approve the 2025-27 SIA grant agreement for the Gresham-Barlow School District. Any discussion? Quick discussion. This is one I just point out because it's for public review. Student investment account is brought about by the corporate activities tax. So when you see corporate activities tax on a car purchase or a larger purchase, it's the CAT tax. Thank your businesses and thank yourselves because you're funding education in this grant, particularly for the Gresham-Barlow School District. So that's the discussion. Any other discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
All right, thank you.
Next up, we have some information items, starting with Jeff Gibbs and Technology Update Annual Report. So Jeff, did you miss the whole concert? I was under the impression you.
My daughter was sick and did not get to perform tonight, so
I hope she feels
maybe
better.
maybe next time. Thank you. So we have second slides. Well, thank you, Chair Peterson and board. I'm going to share some exciting updates on things we've been working on. This mic is really hot. To kick it off, just some more of the day-to-day stuff. In the last 12 months, we've closed 11,624 tickets. And you're asking what a ticket is. That's when somebody reaches out to us and says, this isn't working, or how do I use this, or how do I get access to this? So 11,624 times someone has reached out and we've helped them through their issue. As well as we've repaired 1,362 Chromebooks, which is a good chunk of our little over 10,000 Chromebooks. All right. So most of what technology does falls into these two word conditions: safety in terms of keeping students safe online, and opportunity, where we focus on providing students access to reliable technology and digital resources. All right, Superintendent Klinger hosted a parent webinar on November 4th about how to keep students safe online. And that was recorded, and you should have got a notification through Parent Square if you want to watch that. It was a topic we heard a lot of parents ask about. So we had our instructional coach, J. Roger Hay, present about the digital curriculum that we teach students in school. And I shared tips about how parents can keep their students safe online at home. We also had a robust Q&A at the end, and parents gave us positive feedback. So I know Superintendent Klinger is going to host more parent webinars later this year, so keep an eye out for those. We also announced at that parent webinar a new parent portal for our web filter. It's called Lightspeed Parent Portal, and parents can use it to check their students' web history. So for high school students that take a Chromebook home, parents can now see what their student is accessing outside of school and also has the ability to disable the Chromebook. So if you say it's time to go to bed, you can just hit a button and that Chromebook cannot work again until school starts the next day. So parents have been excited about that. We also have another 4 parent apps. If you're interested, there's a relatively new one with First Student where you can track your student's bus and it'll give you a notification when your bus is coming down the street. Okay, next slide is about budget. You can guess that technology is sometimes expensive, but we have a few ways to lower the cost to the district, one of which is the E-rate program through the FCC. And that provides us an 85% discount on all the equipment that we need to provide high-speed internet to students. So we can buy network switches, wireless access points, cabling, everything we need. We also get, as you're aware, our internet connectivity through Multnomah Education Service District, MESD. So they've built a network over all of Multnomah County that the school districts use. And that really has brought the price down of the internet. And then on top of that, we get an 80% discount through the E-rate program. So we are getting 10 gigs or better at every school and a very low cost. All right, cost savings. Just a short bit, we are always looking to save money, and we're definitely looking at usage of software and seeing if there's software that's not used, then eliminating it or replacing it with a cheaper alternative. Our cybersecurity pilot program, you know, we applied for that last spring, and of course it's a federal program, it's a new program, so we're still waiting for the official approval to spend the funds. Hopefully that'll come in the next couple of years, weeks. The interactive flat panels, when you're in classrooms, you'll see an interactive flat panel like that one. The teachers use it instead of a projector, but it displays things. Teachers can annotate over what they're displaying. And we bought most of those with bond funds. So some of them are now 5 years old and they're starting to show their age, unfortunately. So we're in the process of figuring out what's next. Can we upgrade them or do we have to start replacing them? So we should know in a few months, have a better idea of what our options are and what that costs. And then Chromebooks, like I said, we have over 10,000 Chromebooks and we are constantly refreshing them as they age out or get broken. So every year we usually buy a few thousand. This last summer we didn't have to. We were lucky that we didn't have any aging out, but that's a constant annual process. And next slide. This is my most exciting slide. We have 2 new student internship programs that we're excited about. One started this month with Cal. So every B day, students come to our office and they work with us on projects. We teach them how to repair Chromebooks. Like I said, we have a lot of Chromebooks to repair. And just get an idea of what it's like to work in the IT field. And then we are also preparing for an internship with Gresham-Barlow High School that will start in the fall, where they'll shadow members of my team and also learn repair skills, customer service skills, and technology troubleshooting skills. So we're excited about both of those programs. And that is the end of my report. Any questions?
Yeah, so back to the slide of the parent portal.
Yeah.
Those nowadays require a Google browser. If parents were to sign in, or students were to sign in, say for Google Chrome, under their school account, would it be protected?
No,
No, okay.
no, just district devices. Yeah. There are parental controls that we did talk about a little bit about the parent web in the parent webinar. So if you're interested, I can tell you, or you can watch that parent webinar for more information. Yeah.
On that same topic of the webinar that you did, for those of us who don't have Parent Square, don't have kids in school,
Yeah.
can I watch it? Can I find it someplace?
Yeah.
Where?
It was, I think it was posted on our YouTube channel. Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to ask something along those lines too. I was not able to watch the webinar, but I will go back and watch it now. Is there information for our community about how to download that app on that webinar?
Yeah, I went through the steps to get to it on the website. You click on families and then technology tools, and then there's a page that lists out the different apps, what they do, and instructions on how to access them. Yep.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you.
And could I have a point of privilege, please? Okay, thank you. I just wanted to go back just a little bit to what Mr. Wallace said earlier in your presentation, and I wanted to bring to the board's attention that there has been a request to the City of Gresham Council to declare a state of emergency that allows for additional resources to be able to be used within the community, similar to what they did in Hillsborough, Salem, and Woodburn. And they had testimony the other night where they requested that. They came and talked to a lot of the businesses in downtown Gresham about supporting that. So it's a continuing, they didn't vote on it that night. They heard the testimony. We would like for people to continue to request respectfully that the city of Gresham do this so that they can provide more support for our families and our students. Thank you.
Graduation requirements, Dr. Collins.
All right, saving the best for the last. I love this. So, Board Chair Peterson, what? Oh, almost to the end. We're getting there. Saving the very best for the last. That's right. What we're going to do tonight is walk through pursuant policy IKF annual graduation requirements. And so I believe you have a document linked in your agenda that you can see. No? It should be a PDF.
Is it the requirement summary? What is it?
Well, I made copies because I couldn't see it on my agenda, but Sarah informed me that it was on yours. Maybe that's what it is. Regardless, you've got paper copies. We can go through this. It'll be great. So the last board update was back in February of 2025, and there have been no major changes to our graduation requirements since then. But with some new members on the board, what I wanted to do is spend just a few minutes walking through our graduation requirements and also the different types of diplomas that we have. And then I do have one slight recommendation at the very end related to policy IKF. And we'll get to that in just a moment. So let me walk through the different diploma types first, and then jump into the actual requirements behind each of the diplomas. So here in the Gresham-Barlow district, we actually offer 5 different diplomas that students can earn in the course of their 4 years within the high school setting. The first one is the standard high school diploma. It follows the guidelines set out by the state. It's 24 credits. And in addition to those 24 credits, students also must pass essential skills and also personalized learning, and those are outlined down below. The essential skills is on hold right now through 2027-28. And we haven't heard any updates if that's going to change or be re-implemented. But as of right now, students are not required to complete the essential skills requirement outlined in Division 22. The actual credit breakdown is down below on that second page or on the back of the paper that you got. So we'll walk through that in just a moment. The Scholars Diploma is specific here to the Gresham-Barlow School District, and you'll notice it's 25 credits instead of 24. And with that, students still have to do the essential skills and personalized learning in addition to advanced coursework. And what that means is it's 8 classes or 8 credits that students have to take, and they're outlined at each of the high schools. So it's advanced placement, the terminal courses within a CTE pathway, some of our advanced choir, advanced band, those sorts of things all qualify for those advanced courses that students have to take. And also our valedictorians and salutatorians are chosen from those that complete the Scholars Diploma requirements. So when it comes to graduation in June and you see those awards being given out, those students are ones that have completed whatever is required for that scholars diploma, not just the standard diploma. In addition, they have to take 2 years of world language in preparation for university if students choose to go that direction. A GPA of at least 3.5 must be maintained, and they also need to participate in at least one extracurricular activity of some sort as they go through. So the Scholars Diploma is designed to really encourage students to have a well-rounded experience when they're in the high school setting. The Modified Diploma has the same number of credits required as the high school diploma. The major difference is that the number of core required credits is less. It's half, basically. So half of the credits for a modified diploma need to be earned within core classes, and then the others can be elective. So it's split up. Modified diplomas are only for those students that have demonstrated an inability to meet grade level standards persistently over time, or if there's some sort of medical barrier that prevents students from meeting those grade level standards, they're also eligible for a modified diploma. Those top three, high school diploma, scholars diploma, and modified, are the ones that count towards graduation rates when you see those released in January. Those are the students that they're looking at specifically. The other two diplomas that we offer, the extended diploma and the certificate of attendance, are for students that have been severely impacted in some way regarding their learning. So the extended diploma only requires 12 credits, and those are all core credits. And then a maximum of 6 of those can be earned or should be earned within a self-contained classroom. So even for our students on extended diploma, half of their time at a minimum should be in other classes outside of that self-contained classroom, while half of that time can be used to earn credits within a self-contained classroom. It's like an LE1 classroom that we have at the high school setting would be an example of students that might be earning an extended diploma as they go through. And then finally, certificate of attendance are for those students that have maintained high school attendance for at least 4 years, and we've tracked that over time. And extended diploma and certificates of attendance are not given out commonly. They're for students who've demonstrated an inability in some way, shape, or form that need those lower requirements as they go through. So in terms of percentage, we're talking less than 1%. It's a very small amount. So those are the different diploma types that we offer. In terms of the requirements, let me just walk through those really quick. We talked about essential skills, and essential skills are looking at standards in reading, standards in writing, standards in mathematics, students demonstrating the ability to do those particular components. And like I said, that has been removed through 2027, 2028. On the electronic document, if you had questions about the essential skills, you'll see that that's hyperlinked there within that paragraph. Personalized learning is still part of the diploma, and what that requires students to do is maintain an educational plan and profile. So as they go through each of their 4 years of high school, we ask that they maintain a plan of what it is they intend to do year by year, and they modify and update that as they go through. So from freshman year to senior year, we know sometimes plans change. So students have a chance to do that, but each year we're asking them to go through and make changes to their plans and profiles in order to make sure that they're on track to do whatever they want to do post-high school. In addition, an extended application essay is where students take a look at things that they've done over their 4 years of high school and reflect on how that impacts what they plan to do next, post-graduation. And then they have to do at least 2 career-related learning experiences. So those are opportunities where students are engaging in something related to careers. Either they're applying for a job, they're doing an application, maybe they're doing an interview. So if you did any mock interviews, I know some of you have done that at Barlow the last couple of years. Those are part of examples of career-related learning experiences. Also, I know that our schools do career days where individuals from the community come in, talk about different career opportunities. So all of those things count towards a career-related learning opportunity. Kids that are engaged in CAL. CAL itself is a career-focused opportunity. So all of those sorts of pieces count. So those are the diploma requirements. And then in terms of subject areas, if you go to that back page or if you scroll down, this simply lists out the credits that are required for a standard diploma here within the state. And the one place where I'd recommend a change, so right now within board policy, is it IKF? Yes, IKF, both the modified and the extended diploma refer to language arts requirements, whereas the standard diploma refers to English language arts requirements. And I think that might have just been overlooked in the last policy review that we did. In 2021, the state removed English language arts and made it just language arts in order to provide more inclusion for students who are proficient in languages other than English, but have demonstrated the same skills or the same set of standards within other languages. Spanish would be a great example of that. So policy IKF for the standard diploma still lists English language arts as opposed to just language arts. The rest of the policy is exactly in line with what the state has here listed down below. A couple other things of note: mathematics, it's 3 credits, must be at Algebra 1 and above. That was a change a couple of years back with the new math pathways. It used to be Algebra 1 plus 2 additional years above the Algebra 1 level. With the plus ones that were added in, they wanted to provide students an opportunity to apply those skills in Algebra 1 or those Algebra 1 math skills. So that was modified a few years back as a change. And then you'll also see down below personal finance education and higher career education and path skills. Those are coming online for us beginning with the class of 2028. Our class of 2027 will have personal finance. Our class of 2028 will have personal finance and the career pathways course as a part of their diploma when they graduate. So that is a brief update on graduation requirements. So questions on that? Yes, Sean.
So it says that they need at least 3 credits in world language arts or career and technical education. Not having a kid in high school, this question may be seen dumb to those with kids in high school, but if a kid was planning out their high school career, do they have to choose between world language or CTE, or are they able to do both?
Yeah, so for that particular requirement, any course that's world language, arts, or CTE counts towards that bucket, so to speak. And so many of our students would engage in world languages and CTE pathways at the same time, so long as their schedule allows. So that is one of the challenges of a 7-period day, is it does limit the number of options that a student has in terms of choices. But so long as their schedule allows it, that's what we encourage students to do, for sure.
My question comes with, oh, go ahead, Heather.
No, my question is for GBA.
Let me track my question again, and I caught it. Okay, but it comes with a disclaimer. I'm not actually entertaining this in my head, but I am curious.
Okay.
The essential skills assessment non-requirement by the state, does that preclude a district from requiring it? Does the law preclude a district from requiring essential skills assessment? Or
so,
part of
and
the
Dr.
standard
Clean, you can correct me on this, but a district is able to implement standards above and beyond what the state has stated is the minimum requirement. So I know, for example, a couple of years back, when I first started, which was just a few years ago, we did have within our district higher requirements than what the state had. And I believe it was around world language specifically, if I recall correctly. And so districts are able to impose their own set of standards so long as they don't go or drop below what the state has stated as the bare minimum.
I just have a clarifying question. You said, for the policy, so that when we
Yes.
go back to that, did you say it was modified and extended? Or modified, what was the second one that you said the policy referred to?
Good. So if you look at the modified diploma and the extended diploma, you'll see that the language arts requirements there just simply say language arts.
Yeah.
But if you go up to the high school diploma, just the standard diploma, it actually reads English language arts.
They should all read.
They should all just read language arts.
Yeah, okay.
Correct.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
We did just review that one, so I'm wondering if it just hasn't been posted yet, or if we actually did miss it, but I just want to make sure I knew what I was checking. So.
Well, I knew it was part of the discussion because I was there for that particular piece, so it might have just simply been missed.
Okay, thanks.
That's topic.
I'd like to go back to GBA,
Okay,
just
Heather,
for a quick question.
we're gonna stay on the agenda topic that we're on.
Chair, I asked you during his presentation if I could ask a question, and you said not usually, but you allowed questions from Director Behrens and Director Howitt. So I
No,
would like to
Director
go
Howitt
back.
jumped in with an irrelevant point, and I'm
You're
not sure why
saying
she
her
chose to
point
do
was
that.
irrelevant?
It's not, it's tied to the agenda. The agenda that's agreed to is what we stay on.
Okay, so are you saying that we cannot ask questions of the association? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that is.
But you just allowed others to do that. You just did that.
When did I do that?
You just asked him a question.
Tim isn't part of the association.
That's why we're on the agenda of graduation requirements.
Okay, well, forgive me for that. I am a new member, so I'm learning things as we go along here. But I did have a question for Mr. Wallace that I will ask him later after the meeting.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Any other questions about graduation requirements?
You probably won't know the answer to this right now, and that's totally fair. But I do have a question about our credits being weighted for honors classes. Do you know the background on why credits are weighted or not weighted, and why our district does or doesn't do that? And you do not have to answer that right now. It's on our agenda item, so we may talk about it in future work session. I just wondered if you happen to know.
Off the top of my head, I don't. I know there's been robust discussion on both sides around pros and cons. But I don't know other than that, yeah. But I do know we'll be looking into that at some point, correct? I see a nod, so, yeah.
All right, thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Next up is financial update, which we already approved in consent, but there's an opportunity to bring it out into the open. So, Pete.
Thank you, Chair Peterson, honorable members of the board. The description that's in the presentation, just that one sentence saying the cash flow projections remain solid. There are more details and expenses related to PERS and payroll specifically that have moved the projections for ending fund balance a bit lower. So I just want to make sure that folks are aware of that. It is not a major change, but it is a change. Last time I talked about drawing 2 points or having 2 points to draw a line. We now have those two of full months of activity for the district to see how it's going. I wouldn't say that that's as accurate as it will be later on in the year, but it's about on par with what I would expect. I think this is not as large in scope as some of the topics that Dr. Klinger and I presented on earlier about some of the budget challenges that are in our future related to the state and the federal level that are coming, and they are coinciding and tying together. So the direction that we receive from the board about some of those priorities as we move through the challenges, this will be addressed. But if there are any specific questions about the financial report, I'm happy to answer anything y'all have.
I'm not seeing anything. Thanks, Pete. Okay, announcements. We have a currently scheduled board work session for December 18th. I expect that we will have that one on the calendar. Dr. Klinger gave me an eye that maybe we'll look at that. We'll make sure it's worth your time, board. Otherwise, we'll push agenda items out and see if we can free up that evening. There are no board meetings nor district business December 22nd through January 2nd. And then we'll turn the page to a new year, and we'll be back here for our January 8th board business meeting right here in the Public Safety and Schools building. With that, no other business before the board. We're adjourned.